This is Donington Park, situated right next to East Midlands Airport in the UK. With me is Dean and Jack, first time track dayer. Dean's been on sort of a track day before with me. The BMW there is owned by Dean. That's the car we're going to be using for the day. The time in the video at this point is about 8:30. So the day's just about to kick off and Dean's just doing some weight reduction. But for me, as I say, it's been about 7 years since I last went on a proper track day in my old Mark 1 MS5. So this is just exciting to be back, finally, after so many years, and Dean's kindly offering up his basically daily driver as our track mule for the day. And best of all, the actual weather is staved off. It's been really wet in the UK in recent days, but this morning it's just threatening. Heavily overcast, but the track is dry and we're not expecting any rain until midday, which is when our morning session ends. So real straightforward.
I could have gone to them toilets instead.
So pretty much every track day that's worth anything will take everybody out on cycle laps at the beginning of the session. This is where you get a chance to take some reduced speed laps of the circuit at the wheel of your car so that you can see everything close up and drive the track. Dean and Jack are in the car at the minute, being the least sort of exposed to track days. Jack is at the wheel as it's all brand new to him, and what better way to sort of ease him into it. There he goes. It's Jack driving, first time out on track ever, with Dean in the passenger seat, owner of the car. There he goes. It takes a bit of balls to go on a track day, to be honest with you. It takes a lot to get over the anxiety of like your first day, but yeah, I'm sure in 10 minutes time he'll come back and he'll be pretty happy, even though it's just a sighter. So after completing 2 or 3 cycle laps in the pace car convoy, our first time track dayer, who also has never driven Donington in any capacity, be it sim racing or whatever, he's not done any of that. So he comes back having had a taster of what the circuit is all about, roughly where it goes. So all that's left to figure out now is who goes out first on the live racetrack. And make no mistake, Jack is the sort of bloke who'll just get stuck in. He's a lot like Dean, don't need any help, but as a representation of what you might experience if you've not done a track day before, it's perfect, because he's genuinely never done one before. So let's see how it goes. Like the pace car was like absolutely levering it. I was like, oh God's sake, man. Yeah. Let's go for it. So let's ride along with Jack, Dean and then me. Now to get from the paddock to the pit lane where we need to be, you either drive through one of the garages, which you can book out, on the right you see here, or as we're doing, we just drive through the side of the garages, split up this little small council meeting, and then that's it, we're on the pit lane. We just merge onto the main traffic lane where the marshals will be waiting for us at the end. Now at the point we started filming, Jack had already been out for a couple of stints, so he knew the drill by now. You drive up to the marshals at the end of the pit lane, you're showing your wristband through the window, and they wave you on by to join the track. Car with Jack. This is his first time on the track. It's not a meaningful ride, but so far he's been doing amazing because the amount of cars that got signed up for this track day, I'm sure you've heard it all before, they do cram them in. There are a lot of cars on a day like this. Donington being a small track can get a bit hectic, but for those of you who've not done a track day before, usually the big fear is, will I know what to do? Am I just going to get swamped by faster cars? And to an extent, yeah, you will for the first couple of sessions. You will as you find your feet. This is a slow Boxster here, so careful a bit. So passive on the straight. Yep. So the big problem with being on a track day, especially as it's like a first timer, is the fact that you've got your eyes everywhere. You've got your eyes in the mirror, you've got your eyes on the track. You're trying to think about what you're doing, but if you just take it easy, take it slow, you'll do good. Jack knows what he's doing, but obviously there's a lot of etiquette that you only really experience when you first start getting on the track. So now we're letting a couple of fast, what an idiot. Yeah, So that's a prime example of what I'm talking about there, of people maybe not quite getting the etiquette. We just had a caterer and the Clio go make it 3 wide along the straight because the caterer didn't want to wait for the Clio to pass. So yeah, it is scary. If you're feeling scared going on your first track day, that's because it is. It's a pretty frightening thing to do. It's like rocking up to a club where there's all these established people and then you're just trying to learn as you go along and everyone's just rushing past you, like brushing shoulders. So extra slow. Yeah, it's like you're sort of, you're trying to fit in with a crowd that's already established, and you can only do that by going on track for the first time. So to his credit, this was a spur of the moment decision for Jack to come along and drive Dean's BMW 130i. I think it's not an M Sport, but it's an M Trim, so it's got some run, but it's a little bit boaty. And he's done a grand job. So Jack is the first timer. Dean has been on a track day like 7 years ago when I last went on the track day. I've just got our eyes in the mirror here. Okay, take it easy. Yeah. Back online. Good. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. You've got to look front, you've got to look back, you've got to look around corners, you've got to think about what you're doing. You're driving a car faster than you normally would ever on the roads, so there's all sorts of stuff to do. But nothing can beat this level of fun and just experience. This is something that only a short, like a small minority of people will ever go on a track day, and it's just so much fun. So now we're letting a couple of cars go past again, and we've got a little train, and then we've got a good gap. Good. Clear. So it gets a lot easier. Every time Jack's going out on track, he's finding it a lot easier. We've got a bit of a miscommunication up front with 2 cars going too wide, but it's just about getting used to it. You know when somebody's a rookie, when they're sort of not sure about what they're doing. Jack's quickly finding now. He's been out on track 3 times and he's easily getting it. So if you're waiting to go on a track day because you're worried about what's going to happen, which is what, back when I was 18 and maybe thinking about doing a track day, that was the main concern. Was I ready? Did I need to wait until my suspension was ready? Did I need to wait until my engine was done? All that kind of stuff. No, not really. Just get out there. So long as your brakes are in good condition, your tyres are in good condition, and you take it steady, up to your ability, you'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Most of the time it's just about playing nice with the other cars on track, and considering it's his first track day and it's a busy one, Jack's done a damn good job. So now we're coming up, and this being the first time he's ever seen Donington Park as well, it's brilliant. So we're keeping our eyes on the mirrors here because we've got some traffic behind, and not everybody's kind of read the rules, so they're kind of overtaking wherever they want. When you get one through, do you want to let another through? And it's all these on-the-spot decisions that just make it that little bit fraught unless you've done it before. But this is first session out on track now, and he's right into it. So really getting into it. That's it. He's not going to lie now. He's got the confidence now to sort of re-establish the line. When he's let a car through before, he's kind of letting a couple through. And then everybody just freight trains because they think that they can just barge past. Now he's got the sort of foresight to get back online. Now we're letting the S2000 past before we reach turn 1. And he's getting himself back online. There's cars that might come out of the pit lane on the other lap, but so far that hasn't been an issue. I thought that would be a bigger issue. But this is fun. That's really what we'll always say. Absolutely brilliant. The fact that I'm even recording this whilst Jack is driving tells you how easily he's found it just getting onto track. So don't be worried about it. Most folks need not apply. If you're nervous on the roads, don't apply. But if you ain't, and you think you can just sort of have a good time on a proper track, really stretch your car's legs, you'll realise how unfulfilling it is speeding on the roads. It's just pointless. Don't do it. You could have a crash, end somebody's life, injure somebody. It's not worth it when you can just pop to your local track
on this one. So.
That's right, then just slow down, let the car breathe a bit, let the brakes cool down. You're good. That was good, that.
Yeah.
Like I can just let you get on with it and talk, and it don't matter. Same with Dean, it's just brilliant. It's not that hard. But people who ain't been think it is hard or whatever, and they're worried about going. As long as you got your eyes open, it's a piece of cake, isn't it?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So we're coming back into the pits now to either pick up Dean or whatever, and yeah, it's such good fun. We're back on track again. This time it's with Dean Powell. You'll recognise him from the race screens. Teammate, driving on iRacing for a long time now, probably a year and a bit. Probably goes back further than that, but Dean's been on a track day before, maybe about 7 years ago-ish. When we all weren't using my mom when I was 5 and took a bunch of mates. Had a good time there, but you know, the car was on the go all day every day, so. This is Dean's car, so if anybody has the right to absolutely thrash this thing, it'll be him. But he's not holding back, which is great. This is the reason why you come to the track day, to basically get the limits of the car, be brave. Look at the edge, roll it. We've got quite a lot of space around us at the minute, so we ain't even got to worry about traffic. So Dean's got complete mental freedom now to basically just drive the track like he's done on iRacing many times.
Farming simulator.
Farming simulator too, yeah. Goat simulator. And he's having a great bloody time. You don't even need to ask him to tell that. This is for a non-M sport car. It's really damn good. And to actually be on track at Donington is a real experience too. The track itself is beautiful. Anybody within the vicinity who's never been to an event here should come. But here we are after so many years, just back on track finally. And like Jack, who you just saw previously, it doesn't take long to get into the swing of things. But many people come to a track day thinking that the track itself will be the obstacle. It's not, it's just cooperating with traffic, letting people overtake when they want to overtake. This section right here, the train of curves, it's just as sketchy as you think it is. Really. People who come through here on GT3s and that, they got balls. It's brilliant. So fun. So up the top, we've got the GoPro on its suction mount with the tethers. And you're watching me from the sort of phone mount with tethers again. We'll just
Need to change my gear ratio there.
yeah. If I just swivel you round. Did you see Dean driving? Doing a final job. Now we've got the GTR that's about to screen past. That thing sounds brilliant. And he's going to get back online because nobody else is coming up. Remind me to get a better phone now. I'm being absolutely pushed into these door cards. This is great stuff. So fun. Here we are, turn 1, Donington. Little classic bollard. Yeah, we've got a racing Clio looking to get past. There are
some genuinely quick cars on this day, and I mean, you know, we're not exactly novices really. And just trying to peek a view in the mirrors, because as a passenger I can at least give 1.5 eyes on what's happening. It's good. Now we're coming up against a Fiesta ST. Following through the uphill section, I forget the name. We'll probably take a pass on it on this straight. That is it. Isn't going to curve into the pits or something, who knows. I think we can afford to stay out a little bit longer.
Do one more lap.
One more lap, he's in the zone, you can tell. He's loving it. Brilliant. That N2 competition that just flew past. Proper quick. It just goes to show how quick cars have become, if nothing else. The Evans BMW 130i has just been pasted by so many things. It's carrying some excess weight, let's say that. Just over half a second. And we're two chonkers. Or I am at least a little bit. Just a little bit. He goes to the gym. Right.
You see golf.
Yeah. But yeah, it stays planted. It's brilliant. Properly good. Yeah, sometimes you gotta think about self-preservation on these days. Some people just, you know, they're just gonna forza it. So you know.
We're in this lap.
Yeah, we're in this lap, so we're now going to let the car just cool down a bit, because the one thing you never think about, if all you've done is sim racing and you're sort of, you've not been on a track day yet, the one thing you think about is that things are getting hot, things are getting pretty tired, including the tyres a little bit, so it's always good to do a little stint. And then let the car just like chill out a little bit, let the brakes cool down, let the fluid cool down. Someone else can probably explain this a lot better than I can, but it's just good to keep stints short so that you don't have an issue that goes unnoticed, a bit like I did that killed the NX5 with a tiny oil consumption problem which killed it.
Rip.
Yeah, that was good. That you could tell, yeah, like that's, you're getting comfy, you get so comfy with that. On the limit. Alright, let's go for it. So we're going back on track again. This time I'm at the wheel. Been talking a lot. Now it's time to do some lapping. Traffic's been kinder and quieter. The day's drawn on. People have had their fill and they've just sort of parked it up a little bit. So should be fairly civil. Cool. We're just going up to the pit exit and checking the wristbands with the marshals. And now right on track. Tiny bit of moisture. Moisture means take it easy first lap, because grip might not be where it was before. Fiesta by. sympathetic to the car and avoiding curves, avoiding divots. As long as you keep it on the tarmac, not a lot can go wrong that wasn't already going to go wrong. Last slot. Lap now, so we're taking it easy. Nobody behind, nobody to worry about. Big old flame backfire from the Fiesta ahead. Bloody indicators. A pain in the arse. Oh, that was good. So
And there you go, that's kind of a slice of life from your typical track day, featuring me, who's done a few track days now, a good handful, Dean, who's done one before and is a sim racer as well, and Jack, who is completely new to it all, doesn't sim race, never been to Donington, never done a track day, and he handled it really well, and he had a good time. And that can be you. If you haven't done a track day before, don't sit there paralysed thinking that you need everything to be perfect. Just get out there, book yourself on. So long as your car's got decent tyres and your brakes work well, you don't really need anything else. You don't need massive power, you don't need good suspension really. It's more important to actually experience it first, then see where it leads. So just get yourself booked on and do it. Thank you very much. See you again.